Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the best transfer targets ahead of game week 3. In today's video we're going to take a look at players you should be looking to buy, players you should be looking to sell, players you should be looking to avoid, and at the end we're going to go through some cheeky differentials to help you boost your rank. If you do enjoy the content that you see on the channel, then please like, comment and subscribe, as we are trying to reach 500 subs before the end of August. If we could do that, it would honestly be absolutely amazing if we could do that. So thank you very much for the support so far, but let's keep on kicking on. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into today's video. And to start off today's video, my first player that I'm going to suggest for you to buy is a man who I actually included in last week's video under the differential section, and it is Ivan Toney, off the back of another amazing performance, and an amazing performance by Brentford overall. Obviously the 4-0 win against Manchester United. So far in the first 2 game weeks, Ivan Toney scored 1 goal, got 2 assists and scored 17 points. He's on penalties, and Brentford's fixtures are absolutely amazing up till about game week 8 when they play Arsenal, but at that point we're definitely going to be looking to wild card. Let me read you some of Brentford's fixtures: Fulham, Everton, Crystal Palace, Leeds and Southampton. Some absolutely amazing fixtures within there for Brentford. Obviously Ivan Toney is he's a Premier League goal scorer. We know what he's about. He's on penalties. He knows where the goal is. And it seems like he's starting to add some assists as well to his game. Obviously, one coming from a corner, the little flick on at kind of the front post. And the way Brentford kind of set up with their set pieces as well. If he can get more flick-ons, absolute happy days for us. A lot of people are going to be looking to take potentially Nunes out of their team. Maybe you're looking for another forward option as well, as I've done with my own team. I'm looking to go to 3 forwards. I think that's going to potentially be the way forward this season, as there doesn't seem to be too many midfield options. And Toney, with great fixtures, on penalties, and Brentford playing really well, could be a fantastic option for our side. I included him in the differential section last week. He's absolutely flying up in ownership at the moment. I made this graphic last night and it was 8.1. I think it's at 9.2% owned now. So he is absolutely storming up, and there's no surprise. Amazing fixtures. He's doing well. He's on penalties. He definitely will score within the next few game weeks as well. He's just going to get goals within that Brentford side. So yeah, that's the first buy that we've gone for. We've gone for Ivan Toney. But let's move on to the second buy of today's video. And my next buy is a man who's absolutely killing it for Arsenal. It is Gabriel Jesus, the most owned player within FPL at 75.8%, which is absolutely ridiculous. It looks like he's going to potentially have a price rise as well tonight, up to 8.1, and there's no surprise, is there? Absolutely killed it against Leicester with his 2 goals and 2 assists. A wonderful goal as well for the first one. That looping finish over Danny Ward's head, absolutely sensational from him. He looked fluid in the Palace game as well, and then that fluidity's just come to another level against Leicester. And against Bournemouth, Fulham and Aston Villa, teams who have been conceding goals at the start of this season, that is very encouraging signs for us to see. The reason I've included Gabriel Jesus is, yes, he is the most owned man. Yes, a lot of people have him, but I do believe that with that, off the back of that performance, he's definitely put himself in contention to be a captain for this game week. Obviously, Bournemouth got absolutely dismantled by City. They take on Arsenal next, so confidence, it's not going to be high, is it, after a little bit of a dismantle job from City? So Arsenal definitely could roll them over. Scored 6 goals so far this season and have looked very good value for money, as has Gabriel Jesus. The 2 goals, the 2 assists, but he could have easily got 3-4 against Leicester, and honestly could have had a mega haul. I think with his high ownership as well, a lot of people may be tempted to go for Bournemouth. Obviously the other options, Haaland's away at Newcastle, so not the best fixture, especially considering the way Newcastle have started the season, and the fact that Liverpool, a lot of injuries are happening at Liverpool at the moment, and it didn't seem like Mo Salah was fully up to the task last night. Obviously losing Nunes as well is just not going to help that front line with their injuries as well to Jota. So potentially, I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking I may go for Gabriel Jesus as captain. If you haven't got him in your team already, go get him. I don't know what that 25% of players are actually doing at the moment without Jesus in the team. Absolute lunatics. Yeah, but yeah, I definitely think he is a captaincy option for game week 2. Looking good, as are Arsenal. Let me know down in the comments below, are you going to captain Gabriel Jesus for game week 3, or are you going to look at the more traditional options? But let's move on to some players we should be looking to sell. And moving on to our first sell, a very, very controversial one. A man that I do have in my own team and I've already sold is Robertson from Liverpool. Now, there are some reasons behind selling Robertson. It's not the fact that Liverpool are a poor defence. I don't think that. I do think they will keep a lot of clean sheets this season, and they potentially could keep one against a poor Man United side. Bournemouth as well, and Newcastle. There's some really good fixtures in there for Andy Robertson. There was just a few signs last night to me that just really put me off having Robertson, especially at 7 million. First, the Liverpool injury crisis. They just don't look as good a side. Obviously, Nat Phillips as well was a major fault in the Zaha goal. I think he just didn't know when to step up and was getting absolutely torn apart at times. So that's a little bit of a concern, especially for me when I had a double Liverpool defence. And I feel a lot of people who do have Robertson within the team will have a double Liverpool defence. So that's just very kind of discouraging, not what we want to see. The also thing that I noticed from last night was that he was subbed off in the 62nd minute. Like, unless he was injured, fair enough. But why is he being subbed off in the 62nd minute? It's worrying when you're paying £7 million for a defender for him to come off in the 62nd minute. It's just not what I want to be seeing from, obviously, one of my expensive defenders within my back line, especially when other options are emerging at Chelsea, the likes of Cucurella, Koulibaly, all these players who are a lot cheaper and getting very good output, especially with Kyle Walker at 5.1 million. You've got Perisic now coming back into fitness, obviously getting himself an assist at the weekend. I don't know if he's going to start to kind of feature within the Spurs side, but there's a lot of other good defensive options at the moment. And Andy Robertson's, he's just not there, is he, at the moment? I think there will be a point when we do potentially look at Robertson again. He may prove me wrong and absolutely smash it in the next few game weeks. But for me, at 7 million, getting subbed off, Liverpool injury crisis, I'm just not a big fan. And that is why I've included him as my first sell. But let's move on to our second sell of today's video. And my second sell for today's video is Matty Cash from Aston Villa. Yeah, it's not been a great start for Steven Gerrard and Aston Villa. Obviously, no clean sheets for them in the first 2 game weeks, and Matty Cash hasn't been overly influential within those games. As you can see, 0.11 XG and 0 for expected assists. Not something we want to be seeing from our kind of attacking fullbacks, especially at that 5 million price point. As well, fixtures are starting to turn for Aston Villa. Crystal Palace away, very difficult. I think Crystal Palace have been exceptional within their first 2 games. Obviously losing to Arsenal and then getting a stunning draw away at Anfield. West Ham as well, a little bit of a poor start from West Ham to the season, but I do think they will bounce back, and I think they'll look to be potentially taking advantage of Aston Villa. And then we've just spoke about in length Arsenal's good start to the season and their fluidity within their side, so I definitely think they could be absolutely carved. Like I said, similar to Robertson, there are plenty of defender options emerging at similar prices, a little bit lower prices, a little bit above Matty Cash's prices as well. I just don't think Villa and him have had the best start to the season, and I think you should be looking to sell with the fixtures turning. So a very easy sell at 14.3% as well. Just getting rid of your side. Just getting rid. Him and Robertson are my 2 sells for the video. Let me know if I've got that right in the comments below. But let's move on to some avoids. And my first avoid for today's video is the highest scoring FPL midfielder at the moment within the game. It is RODRIGO from Leeds United. 22 points scored, 3 goals within 2 games. Been absolutely killing it for Leeds and got himself a brace against Southampton. Now, the reason I have included RODRIGO in the avoids is down to the fact that I'm stunned that so many people are bringing him in at the moment. Chelsea and Brighton are the next 2 fixtures. That Chelsea game, I can't see Leeds getting too much out of that. And Brighton as well have had an exceptional start to the season and have had some really good defensive underlying data number. So I don't think it is going to be an easy fixture. I think in a few weeks I may potentially look to bring RODRIGO and myself when it's Everton, Brentford and Nottingham Forest. A lot more appetising fixtures before my wild card. Like I said, I do think he is definitely worth consideration a little bit longer down the line. I'm just shocked that so many people have been transferring him in. The second goal as well that he scored against Southampton was like he was literally on the line, back post, free header from a corner. He's not going to get that every single week. He's just not. That was really, really poor defending from Southampton, but you've got to be in the right places to put them away. But I just don't think Rodrigo is going to get those chances every single week, and that is what we want from our players who are going to be consistently creating chances for themselves, or finding themselves in the right positions. And I just don't think Rodrigo is that sort of player. I could be wrong. I could be proved massively wrong on this one. Another concern with me for Leeds is the fact that Patrick Bamford went off injured in this game, and I don't understand kind of what that means for Rodrigo. Does that mean he's going to be playing as the forward? Does that mean Joe Gelhardt, Greenwood are going to go and slot in that forward position? Will that then potentially impact Rodrigo's effect on the game? I'm not 100% sure. I think for me it is a wait and see with Rodrigo. I think you either started with him and you've reaped the rewards of picking an amazing differential, or you kind of just wait till after the Chelsea and Brighton games for me, see how Leeds get on without Bamford, see if potentially he might even be back. I'm not 100% sure of the severity of the injury either. But yeah, that is my first avoid, and it is Rodrigo. And my second avoid for today's video is Kieran Trippier. Absolutely wonderful start to the season for him and Newcastle. 14 points scored. Really, really good. Whoever picked him within your drafts, fair play. He's been absolutely exceptional, as have Newcastle. And he's, just been ticking along real nice. And I think a lot of people, that's probably why a lot of people have transferred him in so far this week. 310,000 people have already transferred in Kieran Trippier. Who's looking at the fixtures and going, yeah, he'll do well against City and Liverpool? Absolute lunacy at the moment, and that's why I've put him in the avoids. I also think if you have kind of another option lined up, or if you don't have any other kind of potential issues within your squad, you should be looking to sell Kieran Trippier. But with the amount of people that brought him in, I thought it would fit nicely if I put him in with the avoids. Yeah, just Man City and Liverpool and Wolves and Crystal Palace are their next 4 games. It's just not good, is it? Especially when you have a defender, not for a top 6 side either. Obviously, I'm not slating Newcastle and saying that they're bad at defending. They've proven that, they can get 2 clean sheets. Fair play to them, but against City and Liverpool, it is a different kettle of fish, and I'm absolutely stunned that 300,000 people have bringing him in. If you are one of the people to bring him in, please explain your decision down in the comments below, because it's absolutely lunacy in my mind to bring a player in who is playing City next week. But yeah, just explain your decision down in the comments below. But that was my second avoid, so let's move on to our final 2 differentials of today's video. And my first differential is Lewis Dunk at 2.4% owned, 4.5 million defender, and has scored 9 points so far this season. I think Brighton have had an absolutely tremendous start to the season. Graham Potter getting all the plaudits for the Manchester United victory, and then a 0-0 against Newcastle as well. I thought Brighton would potentially struggle a little bit this season, obviously losing so many key players, but it doesn't seem to have impacted them, and that is a massive, massive congratulations to Graham Potter for keeping that harmony and keeping that squad together. The reason I've included Lewis Dunk, number one, the fixtures are absolutely amazing for Brighton. West Ham, Leeds, Fulham, Leicester, Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. Wonderful, wonderful fixtures. Definitely something we should be looking to attack. His low ownership as well at 2.4%. A lot of people as well are looking to move on certain defenders, Trippier, Cash, and you can drop down here and easily get him. There's no worries of price rises as well with Lewis Dunk, which is brilliant. The other thing as well, which is a massive, massive tick in my eye, is Brighton have been the second best for expected goals conceded so far this season, with 1.39 expected goals over 2 games. Honestly, absolutely amazing. They're only bettered by Manchester City, and we all know how amazing they are at the back. So yeah, really, really encouraging signs for Brighton, not letting too many shots go through to goal as well, not many high quality shots as well being created. So very, very encouraging signs. Good fixtures coming up. I think Lewis Dunk is an amazing option. There are plenty of other options within that Brighton backline as well. Sanchez as well in goal is a wonderful, wonderful pick if you are looking potentially for a goalkeeper change. But yeah, Lewis Dunk, my first differential. I brought him in my own team because I'm that confident in this pick. I'm that confident in Brighton continuing to do well and continuing to absolutely smash XG conceded. But yeah, let's move on to my second differential, who is very much on a similar theme. And moving on to our final player for today's video, it is JANSSON from Brentford. Again, another player and another team who have started the season like a house on fire. Conceding 2 in the first game, not ideal, but then a 4-0 win over Manchester United, absolutely delicious. And as we spoke about earlier with Tony, Brentford have amazing, absolutely amazing fixtures. Fulham, Everton, Crystal Palace, Leeds, Southampton are the next few. Absolutely amazing from an attacking and defensive standpoint. And the way Brentford kind of set up for their set plays is something that they spend hours and hours and hours working on just to get that marginal gain, and they see it as a huge impact. You saw that against Manchester United. I think they scored from 2 set plays, I want to say. Ben Mee absolutely bullying Martinez as well at the back post. So it's something that Brentford look for, and it does make the Brentford defenders a lot more appetizing than other club defenders. As well, Brentford have the 3rd best expected goals conceded so far this season at 1.45. So good defence, lots of attacking options for JANSSON, Ben Mee, all these other players from set pieces, the way they kind of set about them and you know, look to exploit them. JANSSON as well scored quite a few goals last year. I think it was 3 or 4, all coming from set plays as well. So that is what we want to see. Good long-term fixtures, the slight threat of attacking potential at 4.5 million, and super low ownership at 2%. I really like this kind of Brighton and Brentford defenses at the moment. They're absolutely smashing the expected goals models. That, you know, they're looking good in terms of the eye test as well, and they've got players who are definitely set piece threats. Very, very good to see. I like these 2 players as differentials. Let me know down in the comments below, are you convinced by either of these 2 differentials, or potentially taking a punt on one of these teams? Because I think if you go for any of the kind of players within their sides, you're definitely going to reap the rewards over the next few game weeks. But yeah, that was my transfer targets video. I do hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for the support over the past kind of few weeks. It's been absolutely amazing. I just can't thank you enough. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you did enjoy the content, please like, comment, and subscribe to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. Good luck this game week, and thank you very much for watching.